Education 1030 students, I hope everyone is having a great week. So you've made it. You are at fall break time. So Monday, the 14th of October and Tuesday, the 15th of October will be your fall break, which means that you have a little bit of time to rest. But also, I hope that you are able to reflect, and that's going to be part of your assignment this week. Now, obviously, you will be working on reflection, and we have something called the midterm check-in. So for the next couple of days when you're off, you're really going to take time to reflect, and you will be completing what we call the midterm check-in assignment. Also, I want you to be thinking about working on your exploring the field this week as well. This is a chance for you to work ahead on your reflection videos, and also really start working on that outline. I am going to be doing a separate video about the outline, but going ahead and reading through that and working on your outline is something I'd like you to do. Remember, the outline is for your presentation, for the career topic you chose and submitted. So for those of us that haven't submitted your topic presentation, I have emailed those students directly, so you should be able to get that email and respond. Now, I wanted to show you how to get to the midterm check-in. So we are obviously still working in Unit 2. It's going to be right underneath Chapter 5 in the table of contents. So you'll see here, that's the only thing that you're going to have obviously to turn in and submit, but you will continue to work on your exploring the field. But you'll see here, it'll say midterm check-in. It has the document that you need to download, and you will type directly inside that document. So I have some students who are submitting stuff and they're retyping it out. There's really no need to do that. That's not necessary. I give you the documents. They're already in Word format. All you have to do is just go ahead and download and type in it. If you are still having trouble with that, please reach out and I will walk you through that. Maybe we can jump on and have a Teams or Zoom meeting. We also have the Dropbox. So no quiz this week, no reading the chapter, just completing this midterm check-in. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. So the midterm check-in is around the midterm time. And a lot of times you have midterms, you have exams over the first part of the semester. Well, midterm is also good for reflection to see how am I doing in college. This document here, this reflection document, really allows you to see how you're doing this semester. So I'm going to kind of walk you through each section so you'll understand what you need to do in each part. So the first part is really looking at your grades. So what you're going to do is look at your course standing. You are going to go back into your course, you're going to look at your syllabus, and you're going to look at your grading scale. And what that grading scale shows you is how many points or percentages you should have in that class. So I want you to kind of do a grade average. You're going to estimate. It may not be exact because depending on how your grade's weighted, you may not have your exact grade. But I want you to make sure you calculate and average your grade out. Okay, so if you're unsure how to do this, you need to ask your individual instructor for each course because each course is different. Sometimes it's weighted by points, sometimes it's weighted by average percent. So really percentage, so really it's going to be up to you to ask your instructor, but it's also up to you to look at your course syllabus because it talks about your points. Another thing you're going to be looking at is you're going to be looking at your grades, right? The actual grades in your course. So for instance, if I go in as a student in my class and I go to course information and I hit grades, I am going to be able to see all of the assignments and quizzes or exams that I've had, and I'm going to have my points. Now, if your professor doesn't use points, it will be a percentage. And what you have to do is calculate what your overall grade average is, right? So say that you've been up to chapter 5, right? And you have completed these 2 assignments, so you have 20 points there. And then you've gotten A on all of your quizzes so far, and we've done 5 quizzes. So that would be 50, so that would be 70 points, right? And then your chapter assignment. So what you would essentially do is you're adding up your points and you're averaging them by dividing into how many possible points you could get at this point. So please reach out if you kind of still unsure how to do that to your instructor, but you do need to learn how to average your grades so you can kind of have a standing. You're going to do that for each course. You don't have to necessarily type out what course it is. It's helpful though, because you may not know which one course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is. I'll let you decide that, but you do need to put the grade average there. So you can put the grade or you can put the points, like how many you have out of whatever it is, just to have an estimation of your overall grade. Some people like to use letter grades as well, so I'll let you decide how you want to do that. The second section is really looking at the courses maybe that you are having trouble with, right? So maybe up here you have one that you're failing. So what I want you to look at is if you're doing really well in all your classes, I just want you to list some strategies that you're using so you can maintain those good grades. However, if up here you have a course maybe you're failing, you're not doing so hot in, I want you to go back and look in our textbook and see what are some strategies you could use to improve your grade. And I want you to list 3 of them. The next section, we're really talking about academic advising. So, do you know who your academic advisor is? Academic advisor is kind of like a counselor, right? So they kind of help you keep you on track with your plan. You meet with them each semester before you're allowed to register. So registration is actually coming up pretty soon. Let me look in my calendar. I believe it is going to be November 4th. So what we want you to do is, if you remember in the chapter 1 homework, the Water State Resources page, you had to list who your academic advisor was. So I want you to tell me all the information about your advisor. So you'll have to kind of scroll to the second page. You'll have to put your advisor's name, and if you don't remember, you can go back to that homework assignment in Dropbox and look what it is. You'll put the phone, email, or office number where they're located. Now remember, I just mentioned that each semester, before you're allowed to register, you have to meet with your advisor. So what you'll do is you will let me know if you met with your advisor or your counselor yet. If you did, put yes. If not, put no. And then if you've not reached out to them, when do you plan on calling to schedule an appointment for spring registration? And then if you kind of were a general education student, or you were kind of up in the air and didn't know what career or major you wanted to pursue, but now you do, you can tell me that in this section where I ask you, are you going to keep or change your advisor? I just told you the answer to this question. November 4th is when registration for spring begins, so you put that date there. The next section is going back to chapter 3, where we talked about time management, managing your time and your energy. So these questions I want you to answer. You could either highlight it or you could circle it, but just some way for me to know if you're marking always, never, or sometimes. Okay, so these questions that ask you is talking about how you track your time. Do you use a calendar in your phone, or an app in your phone, or a planner, a paper planner, or the Water State planner? So are you making use of those calendars? Then we're moving on into your motivation, right? So motivation is important, because if you lack motivation, you're not going to reach your goals. It's going to be a lot more difficult for you to stay on track. So really these questions in this section is asking you about your current motivation level right now. This section here where it says important course requirements remaining, this is what I want you to look at. If you read here, it says what are the major exams, papers, or projects. So we're really looking at things that count for a lot of your grade. So you may have it in one of your classes or in a few of your classes, but I want you to think about all your classes you have and what are 4 major exams or major papers or projects you have that's due sometime the remaining of the semester. And I want you to write what they are and, and the due date. You do not have to put what class it's for, you just have to put the assignment. And then the last section is really talking to you about your anxiety or stress levels and where you at right now. So you can fill that section out as well. That will pretty much complete the midterm check-in. You will submit this to the midterm check-in Dropbox. There's a specific Dropbox just for this assignment. So you will go to assessments and you will hit Dropbox and you will scroll down until you see midterm check-in Dropbox. Now this assignment is due October 17th at 11:30. So make sure you get that done and work on that. All right, that's all I have for you. Don't forget to continue working on your Exploring the Field. You can get caught up on your Exploring the Field videos and reflections, or you can continue working on maybe starting your outline for your presentation and putting that together. All right, as always, if you have any questions, reach out. And until next time, take care.